Okay, here we are with the Chapter 13 review, also known as the Chapter 13 study guide. And this is shorelines. So 13 questions with a bonus question at the end. Here we go. Here in the map of the United States, I'm labeling some different regions. And your job between A, B, and C is to determine which one is actually part of a shoreline. Is that A, B, or C? Okay, this one's pretty obvious because A is the only one next to the coast. So what I've done now is that I've drawn a couple of types of waves. One is out there pretty deep water, and one of them is snuggled up to the coastline or to the shoreline. So between A and B in this picture, which are actually oscillation waves? Which are oscillation waves? Okay, that's A. And which are translational waves? Well, this obviously is B. Okay, question number 3. We're going to label the parts of the wave now. So what is A? That's the crest, and B is the trough. So when you go from crest to crest or trough to trough, you get lambda, which is the physics symbol for what? Okay, this is wavelength. And if you go from the top of the crest to the bottom of the trough, what is that called? Okay, that's wave height. So now what I'm going to do for you, in this picture, the waves are moving toward the left, or propagating to the left. Let's say there are 17 cycles per second, meaning crest and trough, 17 of them pass you in a given second. So what is that called, the A word or the P word? Okay, this is wave amplitude or wave period. So again, a nice wave, and now I'm describing or drawing a water molecule inside of a single wave. So your job is to describe the movement or the motion of that wave, or the water molecule, sorry. Okay, this water is moving in an orbit or in a circle, and have I just drawn for you an oscillation wave or a translational wave? Okay, this is an oscillation wave because in an oscillation wave the water moves in an orbit. So now the first picture for your consideration in question number 6. So again, it's the same question. What wave type is shown in the picture? Okay, this is an oscillation wave. So now in question number 7, it's a new picture and the wave is moving toward the right. And what is lambda doing? What is wavelength doing as the wave approaches the shore? Wavelength is decreasing. What is wave height doing? That's increasing. And what type of wave is shown here where the water or the wave begins to feel the bottom? That is a translational wave. And what is this final thing here? What is it called when a wave basically crashes onto the shore? Okay, that's a breaker. So now we're going to discuss in question number 8. We're over halfway done, if you believe that. Three influences of waves. So the first one starts with an F, and it's a game you play with your dog. Okay, this is fetch. This is a distance the wind has moved over the water. Letter B is wind S something. Okay, this is wind speed or velocity. And can you think of the third one that is missing? Okay, this is the length of time that the wind has blown across the water. Length of time the wind blows. So all three play a part in creating waves. So question number 9, this is helicopter view. So this is a beach or the berm of the beach here at the top. And out here we have a wave or many waves. And let's say of this particular wave, this is an approaching wavefront. So the question is, what is that approaching wavefront going to do when it hits the shoreline? How is it going to respond? Well, the answer is that the wave will respond by bending because it's not going to hit the shoreline head on. So the bending of waves is called wave what? Okay, this is wave refraction. So there is an intermediate step that's missing in this picture, but because of wave refraction, it creates something which causes the sand to zigzag down the beach. So this actual movement of sand down the beach is known as LD. What is that? Okay, this is longshore drift. Now, just to be clear, longshore drift is set up or caused by longshore current. And longshore current is this weak current that is created because of wave refraction. So the bending of the wave actually causes the wave to bend. That creates a weak current, which in turn causes the sand to zigzag down the beach. So here we are with erosional features. So what is this erosional feature called? This is a side view. Well, this will be called a wave-cut cliff. And in question number 10 to the squared, okay, I have to erase some stuff because I'm using the same picture from the previous slide. So now what I want to know is, what is that bottom part called that was actually created by the waves? Okay, this is not a wave-cut cliff, that's actually called a wave-cut platform. Okay, question number 10 to the C. Here we have a picture for your consideration. Over geologic time, the waves are going to come in and they're going to attack the headlands before they attack any part of it. So over geologic time, this coast is going to become straight through the process of coastal straightening. So now question number 11, we're going to talk about some wave depositional features now with accompanying pictures. Wave depositional features. So here we go. Number 1, this is a big ridge of sand that sticks out into the bay, a big arm of sand. And what is that called? It actually also begins with an S. So that is a spit. Okay, again in helicopter view, you're looking at the mainland down below, and you have a big sandy island out there which is not connected to the mainland. So that is called a barrier island. Okay, number 3, this is a sandy ridge that's connecting an island to the mainland. So this one actually starts with the letter T. That's a tombolo. And the fourth and final part of wave depositional features, here we have a bay. This is typically how bays go. It's just a place where ships can come in and dock. But this particular bay has been crossed by a ridge of sand that's drifted across it. So that is called a bay mouth bar. So those are the 4 depositional features that are left along shorelines. So now question number 12 out of 13. Here is a picture. We're going to get into tides now a little bit. So when you consider tides on a daily basis, how many high tides do we have every day? And how many low tides do we have every day? Okay, the answer to both questions is 2. Now you consider on a monthly scale, how many spring tides do we have every month? And how many neap tides do we have every month? Okay, the answer to both is 2. The big question is, in this picture, which one is shown to you? Is this a spring tide or a neap tide? And this is a spring tide because the moon and the sun and the earth are all lined up. But of course you have different phases of the moon going on. You have a new moon in one day, and then 15 days later you have a full moon. Okay, spring tides. So here is your bonus question. Here is a cartoon from a previous chapter. So in this picture, are these little characters enjoying a high tide or a low tide? Are they also is this picture depicting a spring tide or a neap tide? And is the sand that they're resting on, is it likely to be carbonate or siliciclastic? So the answers to all of these questions are, too bad this is a fictional place because you really can't tell. And that is the end of Chapter 13 Study Guide.